Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Archicad User Group webinar series for 2024. If you don't already know me, I am Matthew Phillips, the Western Cape representative for TotalCAD Solutions Center. Without any further delay, let me introduce our presenters, Jaco Barnard from Agile Business Technology and Richard van Amazoden from Catenda. Jaco will give us a quick overview of Agile and explain the importance of an open BIM common data environment to be deployed on projects. Over to you, Jaco.
Okay, thank you, Matthew, and thank you for the opportunity to present and be part of the user group today. I think we're going to keep the discussion fairly informal this afternoon, but just quickly a very brief introduction on Agile. So I'm Jaco Barnard, Managing Director for Agile Business Technology, and we are a software distribution company based in Stellenbosch, and we service sub-Saharan Africa, and we represent a number of international software vendors. So if you think what TotalCAD does, that is what Agile does. I see a couple of familiar faces and names on the attendee list here. Most people would know us as the open space people, but we're also sort of very much into the world of open BIM. Now, very, very briefly, why open BIM? Why an open BIM common data environment on any project to keep everybody on the same page? We need to have an environment where we can share information with other team members. So with the client, other consultants, the contractor, suppliers. And how we do that is we make use of sharing capabilities. And what we see in South Africa specifically is that people use a wide variety of these platforms, ranging from SharePoint, Dropbox, WeTransfer. Some people use a platform called Synergy. And then what we do find people more in the sort of Autodesk community would then use BIM 360 Autodesk Construction Cloud. Now, Catenda Hub, which we're going to talk about a little bit more, Richard from Catenda is also in the call. He'll introduce himself. Is an open BIM platform. It's an open BIM common data environment. And what it really means in layman's terms is that we are able to collaborate in an open way. And when we say in an open way is the information is available for everybody that's invited to the project. We don't exclude certain people from having access because they don't have a subscription. It is a subscription which is open for everybody, but more specifically, it embraces open standards. So it sort of supports IFC format, it supports the BCF format, and effectively what we can achieve is have a project where we do not dictate amongst consultants what tools they should use to make their models. We put a common data environment in place that is open, and through it being open, we're able to collaborate. So it doesn't matter whether somebody brought to the table a model made in Revit, Archicad, Tekla. We are able to federate those models in the common data environment and have true collaboration, which we're not going to get in a Dropbox, SharePoint, Synergy kind of way. And on the other side, if we're working in a closed BIM environment, it is very hard to collaborate because in those environments, you need to have a license to be able to access information. So we've been partners with Catenda for the last 2 years. Representing them, helping to educate in Africa what Open BIM is all about. As you would have seen in the introduction, it made mention of BIM Sync. That was the previous name for the Catenda product, now called Catenda Hub. But effectively, about a year ago, Catenda rebranded and they renamed their products and is now called Catenda Hub. And it's also very important to, even though this is an open BIM environment, it is not just for sharing models. You know, we can share drawings, we can share documents, etc., etc. But that's all from my side. And I've asked Richard to join us and give us a little bit of an introduction about sort of who Catenda is as a company, what they do, and then give us a brief overview of the Catenda Hub platform as well. Okay, over to you, Richard.
Thanks a lot. Yes, thanks a lot for joining this webinar. My name is Richard. I'm living in the Netherlands, in Europe. I'm living 45 minutes northwest of the town Amsterdam. And I'd like to introduce Catenda and Catenda Hub this afternoon to you. What I will do, I will share my screen and I will have a small presentation. Who's Catenda? What's Catenda Hub? What is it not? And then I will give you a small live presentation how it works in a project. Okay. Yeah, Catenda is from origin a European company. It's from Norway, in the northwest of Europe. We develop a couple of solutions, Catenda Hub, Catenda Site, and Catenda Duo. We are a European company, but we are all over the world. We have own subsidiaries in Norway, France, Germany, United States, and the Netherlands. But we have partners all over the world, like Agile in South Africa, but we have partners in Japan, in Brazil, China, whatever. We are a member of Building Smart, so that means that everything we do has to do with open standards. So we are not dedicated to Autodesk or whatever. If an Archicad user like to use Catenda Hub, he can use Archicad models in Catenda Hub. But also Revit models can be uploaded with IFC. So everybody who's using a BIM platform can use Catenda Hub. Okay, what is Catenda Hub? Catenda Hub is what we call a common data environment. So the purpose is that you don't transfer any more files with WeTransfer or email or whatever, but you share and manage your information in the cloud. And so there is a cloud portal. Somebody takes the responsibility for the portal and invite all the stakeholders in a project. So it could be your colleagues, but of course also all external people. And you authorize people. So you don't want that everybody can see everything. So you can say, for example, to the structural engineer, okay, you have access to this folder, the owner of the project has access to this folder, etc. What also important is that it's very, very easy to use. I think the implementation time of Catenda Hub for a new user, for a new company, will be between 2 and 4 hours. It's not only BIM, it's 2D and 3D. And so imagine that you only have drawings in a project and no BIM models, you still can use Catenda Hub. And on that models and on the drawings, you can make comments. We call it topics. A change request or comment or whatever. And you can assign these topics to somebody who needs to solve this. Catenda Hub has 4 pillars, models, but also point clouds. Imagine you need to renovate an existing building. You can make a point cloud of the building, and you can combine in the 3D viewer the point cloud in combination with the IFC file. We have documents and we have topics. And all these 4 pillars are working together. And so you can make, for example, a topic on a point cloud, or you can connect a document to a topic, or a topic to a model, you know? We look to the BIM part of Catenda Hub. It's powerful, but a very user-friendly 3D viewer based on IFC. And in that viewer, you have functions like intersecting, measuring, hiding objects, etc. And I will show it in a couple of minutes. But also your object data is available, so you can exactly see what's the material of the object, or what's the quantity of that object, etc. Revision management, you delete nothing in Catenda Hub, but each model, each drawing will get a new revision. You will always open automatically the latest revision, but with some extra mouse clicks, you can open an older version of a document or a model. For the set, strong topic management based on BCF, an open standard. And you can connect 2D information to the 3D object. For example, you have a reinforcement drawing, and that reinforcement drawing is connected to that 3D beam. Document management, authorized folder structure. So you decide who can access a folder, yes or no. There is a 2D online viewer in Catenda Hub, and it supports most of the engineering formats: standard AutoCAD, standard MicroStation, PDF, Office, DXF, etc. There is redline functionality to make comments, and these comments can be connected to a topic, so that you can assign a topic to somebody who needs to change it in AutoCAD. And of course, you have extensive search and filter functions for documents. A logbook records all operations, who've uploaded the drawing, who approved the drawing, etc. And I don't know if you are familiar with it, but we also support the new ISO 9650 for drawings, and that means that you also have a workflow to approve files. Topic management, now what I explained, it's both for 2D and 3D. If you're using Navisworks, or for example Solibri, you can synchronize the clashes automatically with Catenda Hub. But if you have a BCF file with issues, you can also import it. And you can create topics in point clouds, in models and documents. What's very important is also that you can also authorize topics. Imagine that your customer has also access to Catenda Hub. Probably you don't want that your customer will see all the topics which you have with the other stakeholders in the project. So you can say, everybody can see the topics except my customer. You can also connect documents to topics. For example, you have a drawing which clarify a topic, you can connect it to it. And at the end, you can export the topics to PDF, to BCF, or Microsoft Excel. This one is very important for you as an Archicad user. I call it the ecosystem. Catenda Hub is a very open platform, so that other software vendors can access our software. So we have a synchronization with Solibri, we have a synchronization with Navisworks, but we build a plugin for Revit, for Archicad and Tekla. And Matthew already tested the Archicad plugin, and that means that if you have a model in Archicad, you can say, okay, this model needs to be in this Catenda Hub folder, and then it will create automatically an IFC and put that IFC on the correct place in Catenda Hub. If you have, for example, a clash in Navisworks and it is a topic in Catenda Hub, you can open the topic in the Archicad plugin, you click on the topic, and it will jump to the right place in Archicad where you need to modify the model. And the same works for Revit, and the same works for Tekla. We have connections with SharePoint, Power BI, Microsoft Teams, and also integrations with virtual reality and augmented reality. What are the benefits for Catenda Hub? Because you're not putting the drawings in an email or retransfer, you have now one secure environment where all project information is available with the latest revision. Very short implementation time, it's not difficult. It's authorized, so your information is protected. And because it's a cloud environment, it's always 24 hours, 7 days a week available. And the topic module prevents also emailing. And so all discussions you have on the topic will be in the topic and not anymore by email. And it works both for 2D and 3D. So now I like to show you Catenda Hub. So I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, what I said, the only thing you need is an internet browser, and doesn't matter if it's Chrome or Edge or whatever. You go to hub.catenda.com and you sign in. It asks for your username, it asks for your password. And here you see all the projects where I have access to. You can connect it to a picture or in a list. And I will go to my Catenda project. Here you see all the models I have. Here you see everything which has to do with topics. And on the left hand, you see all the functions in Catenda Hub. The idea is that everybody uploads his own model. So it's not the case that you receive the model from the structural engineer, from the plumbing engineer, etc., and that you need to upload it. No, you give them access to Catenda Hub, and you tell all these persons it's your duty to upload the model in Catenda Hub. And because it's based on ISV, doesn't matter if you're using Archicad, if you're using Revit or using Tekla, everybody can upload a model in Catenda Hub. You can also give a logical name to a model, so for example architectural or construction, so that everybody sees, okay, what kind of model is it? And very easy, with one button I can now open all the aspect models of all several disciplines. It's quite a big apartment building in the south of the Netherlands. You also don't need a very strong internet connection. Sometimes I use the internet of my mobile phone to present it. It's still working smoothly also when you don't have a strong internet connection. Okay, here you see all the 9 models. And now you can't see it, but with the wheel of my mouse, I can zoom in, I can zoom out. I push now the left button on my mouse, and now I can turn around on the model. Very interesting is that on the right mouse button, there are a lot of functions. Here you see a lot of functions, and I can, for example, create a clipping plane. And here you see, now I put my left mouse button. You see, I have a clipping plane. What I can do, Here on the left side, you see the clipping plane. There is a green line around it. If I click on the green line, you see the model will freeze. And now with the mouse, you see? I can zoom in, or I can say, for example, what's behind that wall? I say hide. So without being a BIM expert, you can very easily zoom in, zoom out, make an intersection, hide an object, etc. This model has been done in Archicad. So for example, when I click on this wall, let's say I from information, then here you see, for example, these are the Archicad quantities. You see the length, the area of the doors. Or I like to see, is there some material? Yes, there is also some material attached to the wall. So all the properties which you used during modeling in Archicad is still available in Catenda Hub. What you also can do, you can also store some views of a model and use it in a later phase. We call this bookmarks. So you can create a couple of bookmarks. You can keep it for your own, or you can share it with the project. And when I click, for example, on this button, it will go automatically to this place in the building where the bookmark is. Okay. This is a bit about viewing the model, getting the properties, bookmarks. The next thing I'd like to do is to create an issue, a topic. So I go to topic, and I will make a new topic. Yep, and I say, for example, a kitchen. Catenda is working with issue boards, topic boards, and a topic board is a kind of folder where you can divide your topics. On a certain moment, you have thousands of topics in your project, and with the topics board, it's much easier to find the topics. You can give the topic board your own name. I had, for example, clashes and design issues, but you can make 10, 20, several issue boards. You can give it a status. It's for approval. And I can say, okay, info. Okay, when needs this topic to be finished? Oh, I can say, okay, let's say the end of April. And then you can assign the topic to somebody. You can say to the structural engineer or the person who will put the kitchen into the apartment, etc. I can also put some extra metadata to an issue or topic so that you can find it easier back. So I said, for example, okay, this kitchen is on the 2nd floor. And then you can say, okay, show me all the topics which are open and which are on the 2nd floor. And these labels, you can define these labels completely by your own. And then I can say, change the color of the kitchen. I don't like a brown kitchen, whatever. Here you see it creates a snapshot of the model. And here I can redline, I can say, okay, this kitchen, and you put arrow on it, and I say submit. Now this kitchen has been, now this topic has been created. And now I need to solve this topic, and I think, okay, where in this huge building is this kitchen? Look, here is a button. I click on the button, and it knows exactly where in the model is the topic. And doesn't matter if this topic has been created in Navisworks or Solibri or have been imported by BCF, Catenda Hub always knows the place of the topic in the 3D model. And imagine I have changed the color of the kitchen in Archicad. And now I don't send an email, but I will make a comment in the topic, and I said I have changed it in the new. So said I've changed it in the new Archicad model. Okay, you check. Okay, has it been solved? And you close the issue, the topic. So this was everything about BIM. Now I will switch over to documents. With this button I can switch off the 3D viewer, I can switch off the information, and I will go to documents. I've created my own folder structure. If you have your own folder structure in your company, you can make a zip file of your folder structure. You can say upload zip, and then it will create automatically the same folder structure as in your zip file. Some folders has a color, that means that there are files in that folder, and some of the folders are white, that means they are empty. For example, construction drawings. Here you see a couple of AutoCAD drawings, construction drawings, and I can click on it. And without installed an AutoCAD viewer or whatever, it shows online the AutoCAD file. And what you can do, you can zoom in, of course, and you can pen and everything what's used in a viewer. But I can also annotate. Here you see annotate. And I can make a remark. And I can say, for example, please change it in. So. And you can make a lot of changes on the drawing. On a certain moment, you're ready with all the remarks and comments on the drawing. And then the next thing is you create a topic. And here you see the same user interface as with a 3D topic. I say, okay. Yeah. Set open. I set error. I can assign it to somebody. I say it needs to be done before Friday. I make a comment. Let's submit. And if I go back to my dashboard, you see here is the topic measurement. Yeah. And if I click on the topic measurement, it's exactly with 3D. It knows exactly in which drawing is the topic. Yeah, and here you see the topic. You change it in AutoCAD, you close the issue, and so you can do your topic management completely for 2D drawings and models, and it works all together. And of course, I can show you much more about Catenda Hub, but I will leave it here so that you have a bit feeling what is the added value to use a common data environment in your project instead of using email and WeTransfer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it might be interesting for the people familiar with Archicad to see, how it plugs in and what it actually means. Sometimes you've got to see to then sort of comprehend how this interoperability works.
Richard shared the plugin link. I just unzipped, extracted, and installed it. So you can see it up at the top here. I then just took this as a sample project that I found is publicly available on the internet. So I just shared an IFC model of this 3D view onto Catenda Hub. And yeah, so when I come over here, I can go to the Hub Manager. This is what the manager looks like. I can see here that there is a chair topic, and when I click on it, it expands and tells me that there's a chair that's been missing. You can see it over here. Now you can see it's quite a large project, so I'm not too sure exactly where that is. So exactly as Richard explains, if I click on the plus, it will take me directly to that place, which I thought was really cool. Yeah, that's pretty much everything that I had tested. I didn't play around much with it, but yeah, it was really simple to install and get up and going. I just had to create a username and password and yeah, install the plugin, and off I went. It's also nice to see that this could potentially integrate with your revision management on your layouts, because it's linking up with the topics. So you can see at the top here, it's putting it, even though they're called topics in Archicad, it's linking them to the issues. Yeah, that's the long and short of it.
Right. Thanks.
I think the one thing that I would like either Richard or Jaco to share is how can they get hold of you? If anybody is interested or has more questions, how do they reach out to you guys?
So Jaco at agile.co.za, or you can just visit agile.coza. You can find us there. If anybody needs access to a sort of trial project to see how this works, get in touch with me. I can arrange that for you as well. It is quite intuitive. There's a lot of online training available as well, which is freely available. So there's not sort of pay for training or anything like that. And you should be able to get going pretty quickly. And yeah, we can discuss pricing, etc., etc. If you've got a project in mind that you think this can work for, in broad terms, what we have here is for something at the price point of a synergy platform, we can give you a true open BIM platform with interoperability across various platforms. So I mean, it looks very simple in terms of the user interface, but it's actually quite a powerful platform that we are looking at here, and it's not expensive.
Thanks everybody for attending, and thanks to Jaco and Richard for making time.
Inviting me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
I'm sure, hope everybody enjoyed the session, and yeah, we'll see you next month.
Okay, thanks, Matthew.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks, Matthew. Bye-bye, everybody.